Hey, what's going on, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with a very fun budget deck tech today. So normally I do $50 budget decks, but today I have a $20 budget deck for Pioneer. It is $20 mono white aggro. So as always, before we hop into the list here, let me know in the comment section below, is there any card that I forgot to include in the deck? Is there any cards that you would recommend for like a $50 deck or a non-budget deck? And as always, if there's any suggestions that you have, just let me know in the comment section below. So all right, $20 mono white life gain aggro. So I did a $20 deck a while ago, and mostly was commons and uncommons, a couple good spicy rares, and that's kind of how today's gonna go. I think we only have really a couple rares in the deck, maybe even 4, not very many. So anyways, we're gonna hop into it here. So we're also a life gain strategy as well. Obviously, you can see as a Johnny's Pride Mate is in the thumbnail, and obviously the background photo today. So what are we playing in the deck? So we're playing 4 Healer's Hawks, 4 Outside of Life's Bounty, and 4 Lunarch Veteran as our main 1-drop. So Healer's Hawk, obviously 1-for-1 flying lifelink. Simple, yet very effective. The All Side of Life's Bounty, I really like this card in the deck. So obviously it's a 1-1 lifelinker, but we can also sacrifice it to give, protect one of our creatures, which is fantastic. It helps us get in a whole bunch of damage, but also protects our bigger creatures from removal. And then Lunarch Veteran is essentially our soul sister. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under our control, we gain 1 life. And then it has Disturb for 1 and a white, which is fantastic, and transforms into Luminous Phantom. Instead of a creature entering, it's whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, we gain 1 life instead, and it also becomes a flyer. So just a very, very good card in general for the deck. So next slide. This is kind of the bread and butter of the deck. This is how we're essentially going to win the game. So Daxos Blessed by the Sun, essentially just another like Soul Sister. Whenever another creature we control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain 1 life, which is very, very fantastic. And its toughness is equal to our Devotion to White. So this card's just going to be like a 2/6, 2/7, 2/8, very easily. Great at blocking. Now, the best cards in the deck here. We have 4 Johnny's Pride Mate and 4 Voice of the Blessed. So Voice of the Blessed is strictly better than a Johnny's Pride Mate, but we still want 8 copies of it, even though it's not as good. So they each have the first ability of whenever you gain life, you may put a +1/+1 counter on it. So automatically, it enters. We have all these creatures that say when they enter, we gain a life. Boom. Let's say we have 2 of them in play. They get 2 +1/+1 counters, so they're already huge. But Voice of the Blessed has some bonus abilities. As long as it has 4 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it has Flying and Vigilance. So by the time it has 4 counters, it's a 6/6 with Flying and Vigilance. And then if it has 10 or more 1/1 counters on it, which God forbid if it ever gets that many, it has Indestructible, which is just obviously fantastic. So Voice of the Blessed is the best card in the deck. A Johnny's Pride Mate is a very, very close second, though. Both fantastic cards to be playing in a deck like this for sure. So a couple of our other creatures that we are also playing in the deck. We're playing 4 Impassioned Orator, just another 2/2 for 2. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under control, you gain 1 life. Not as good as Daxos technically, but still very, very good. We want to gain that life. We want to gain as much life in little increments as we can. It's very, very big for this deck. We're also playing 4 Lone Rider, 1/1 for 2 first strike lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, transform it, which I will show what it does in a second on the flip side. We're also playing 4 Skyclave Clerics. When it enters, you gain 2 life. You can also play the Skyclave as a land, which is fantastic, which I'll show the backsides here. So Lone Rider transforms into It That Rides as 1. It's a 4/4 first strike trample lifelinker, which is just fantastic, obviously. Obviously that's really good stats for us. And then obviously the Skyclave Basilica, we can also play it as a land. So we're playing 20 lands, which I'm including the Skyclave Cleric as a land. So we're playing 20 of them, but this is great. Spoiler alert, our most expensive card is actually only 2 mana, so we don't really want that many lands. So once we get 2, I guess we could play a 3rd land. Once we get, start drawing them, we just play the Skyclave Clerics, gain some bonus life, get another life from our Impassioned Orator or our Luminarch Veteran, that kind of thing. So that is our entire main board, except for a couple spicy cards we got to talk about. We're playing 4 Brave the Elements and 4 Conclave Tribunal. So Brave the Elements is fantastic because it's a protection spell for our creatures, but also when our Voice of the Blessed or our Johnny's Pride Mates get really big, we just choose a color and we give them pro, like if our opponent's playing mono green, we give them pro green, and then boom, they can't even block it at all, which is fantastic. Brave the Elements, very, very good card in the deck. And then Conclave Tribunal is just a really great removal spell that we're playing. We're playing a lot of cheap creatures, so it's very easy for us to play this just in general. It's just really easy, which is great. So, and it takes care of anything. I almost played Laydown Arms, but I decided to play the Conclave Tribunal just because it hits anything, not just creatures. So, that's the entire main board except for the lands. We've just got 2 lands to talk about here. We already talked about the Skyclave Cleric, also playing as the Transform land, but we're also playing 4 Radiant Fountains, just because why not? It's a colorless land, but when it enters, we gain 2 life. So, you know, gives us a little bit of bonus for like our Ajani's Pridemate, our Voice of the Blessed, that kind of thing. It can be a little awkward with Voice of the Blessed, because we do need 2 planes to play the Voice of the Blessed, so occasionally it can disrupt us a little bit, but as a whole, it's really not going to. It's just going to come in, get us some bonus life with our Ajani's Pridemates, that kind of thing. And then we're also playing 12 planes. Nothing too crazy for the most part. Obviously, we're on a $20 budget, so there's a lot of cards that I would have liked to play in this deck, but we're at $20. We had to keep it as cheap as possible, but yet be able to run the deck. As our spicy land, I decided to play the Guilds of Ravnica planes, just because we have a lot of cards from Guilds of Ravnica that were also featured on Ravnica, so I decided to just play the cool planes there from that set. So, we're not done yet, though. We've got to talk about the sideboard real quick. So, sideboarding. Obviously, we need some graveyard hate. Tormod's Crypt is essentially our only good option for a $20 budget. We also could play Soul Guide Lantern, but I decided to play Tormod's Crypt. We need some extra removal. I decided to play Valorous Stance as our main removal, just because it gets rid of those big creatures. I believe it's with power 4 or greater. Or we can also give our target creature indestructible, which is fantastic. So I would have liked to play Destroy Evil, but unfortunately it's actually a little bit out of the budget, so I wasn't able to fit it. Damping Sphere, fantastic for budget decks. It was reprinted in Dominaria Remastered, so that means we get to play it in our sideboard, which is great. And then the last thing is Artifact or Enchantment Removal. I decided to play Fragmentize in my sideboard, but Disenchant is also a fantastic option as well. You could also play the Cathar Commando. It's also it's a 3/1 for 2 with Flash, and then you could tap 1 and sacrifice it and destroy an artifact or enchantment. So both are very, very good options for the sideboard. So that is the entire deck, $20 mono white life gain aggro. Let me know what you think about this deck in the comment section below. Also, let me know if you do end up deciding to build this. It seems like a fun deck, and especially for $20, it does not seem like a bad deck to pick up at all. So just let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about the list? Is there a specific new card or something that I forgot about? Just let me know below. So I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.